What's up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 5 of Don't Give No Pucks podcast. It's Joey, your host, along with my buddy, my best friend, my boy Brandon.
What's up, guys? Joey, that was some pretty interesting intro music.
That's the only thing that wasn't copyrighted that we could play that comes with our
Wow,
streaming service.
got
So,
lucky.
yeah, so been away for a little bit, but we're back. That's most important. Hoping to get to you guys every Friday to start off the weekend the right way with a little bit of NHL talk. And yeah, so I mean, interesting start to the season. I know it's still semi early ish. Um, Not what I expected at all. A lot of teams. I mean, like a lot of teams. Like last year, it's not just the Rangers, guys. Listen, yes, we're diehard Ranger fans, but like at the end of the day, we watch the whole NHL. Um, I don't think people thought that Boston, like a team like Boston, was gonna fold the way that they've been folding. I
Or
mean,
Nashville.
Nashville, you anticipated to be like beauties, right?
Yeah, there needs to be a scientific study done on this entire NHL season because the math just doesn't math. Nothing
Maybe
makes
they
sense.
changed the puck. Maybe that's what it is
Yeah, maybe
in
it's got to be.
baseball.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
remember, I remember when they changed the ball. David was telling me, no, they changed the ball. I'm like, dude, they didn't change the ball, and then they actually did change the ball. I'm like, they didn't change the ball.
I would
I'm
sleep
telling
a
you,
little
bro.
bit better at night if that was the case. That means I know I
At
have a
least we have
reason.
an answer.
Exactly. There's a reason why our Rangers are doing so poorly.
It's crazy, but yeah. I mean, what is the score right now?
It was 2-1 Devils. So we'll see. I think we can probably write this game off, but I always
I'll
remain
say
hopeful.
this: I love the Rangers. I'll always watch them. I'll always follow them. I'm at the point where I haven't given up hope, but like I'm past the heartbreak kind of this season. I'm not expecting much.
Yeah, I was about to
I
say it's
love them
almost
and I
become like
support
the
them.
expectation that they're just not going to win. They'll
Yeah, and
they'll
then
win
like
one
you
out of
said
every
the other
five
day,
games and horrible.
exactly. And then who did they beat the other day? Boston. And start planning the parade. Like you kind of get that way. I know you're joking, but like I'm kind of not. And then all of a sudden it's like, no, you're gonna lose like the next 4 games.
I will say
But
though, I've been able to catch up on a lot of sleep because usually I stay up and watch the entire game, but I've been having to turn it off after the first period. When they're down 3-0, saying, "I know how this one's going. I can go enjoy my evening and do other things."
listen, you know me, and I always find the silver lining in everything. Am I right?
Yeah. So what's the silver lining
So
here?
you get more sleep.
That's right.
You get more sleep, dude, and you don't have to sit there and stress. Stress about other stuff because we know that we both have a lot of stuff to stress about. We don't need the
Wh-
Rangers to stress us out.
what happened to this team? Like it just seems like they don't. I've seen men's league players that try harder than what we've been seeing.
You're the analytics guy. I mean, from my point of view, nothing. I don't know. I don't know if it's bad luck. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is not good.
Is it safe to say that Jacob Trouba was never really the problem? He was maybe just a symptom of the problem, but he wasn't even the problem himself because, they're not playing better without him.
I think Jacob Trouba was a problem, one of many problems. However, he was a more obvious problem. I mean, no disrespect to the guy. Listen, he's a professional. I'm not. But look what happened the other night. He's playing for Anaheim.
Scored into his own
And
net.
basically, yeah. I mean, I don't know what else to say with the team, but I will say that I think Trouba was an obvious problem. There's underlining issues with the team that we're unsure of.
Yeah, there's something that's going on in the locker room, and I think it actually goes all the way to the top, up to Dolan. I've been saying.
All right, we're back. A little bit of technical difficulties with someone's internet. Not sure whose, so hopefully it doesn't continue to happen. Am I good?
Yeah, you're good.
All right.
What I was saying is, I think the problem with the Rangers goes way beyond, the locker room. I think it goes all the way up to the top, up to Dolan. I've been saying for many years, I don't see a world in which the Rangers win a Stanley Cup or the Knicks even win a title for that matter if
Listen,
Dolan
the
is
Knicks are
in
the only
charge.
thing New York has right now, dude. I
I would
mean
I know, and the Mets and the Yanks, but
I
um,
mean, yeah, but, like, look at them last year. They shit the bed too, you know?
but like I said, I don't see a world in which the Rangers can win a cup, or like the Knicks for that matter,
Come on,
if Dolan is
man.
in charge. I
I
I
mean,
don't see a world. I don't see a world in which that's possible.
so are you saying, like, Dolan's choice in Drury or
I think that overall, with regard to the Rangers, there's a culture problem that
elaborate on that?
I think it extends way beyond. I think it extends way beyond the locker room. You know, there was an issue. I don't know if you saw a couple of weeks ago, but apparently the social media team or the person who was in charge of the Rangers
Yeah,
social
what
media,
was that?
they don't even travel with the team anymore because of
They're
an
not allowed.
off ice incident that happened um, last season during the playoffs or something like that. And they don't really even give you that much information as to what happened. And then you see situations like Barclay Goodrow, who got put on waivers last year in this after the playoffs during the summertime, and that whole situation played out. It just didn't really seem professional. And the day that Jacob Trouba got traded to Anaheim, he was giving an interview on the NHL Network, and he kind of took some shots at the Rangers
Yeah.
management, saying how it's kind of a rite of passage to be fired from MSG.
He basically said it was strong arm to basically leave the team or else he'd be terminated.
Yeah, and it's kind of like the reputation across the NHL that the New York Rangers have is that, there's a huge culture problem, and it's not an on ice issue because we've seen this team perform well for the last half decade. They have the stars, they have the talent, they have the tools to win, but there's something that's preventing them from actually getting over that hump. And I
Yeah,
think,
but do you really think it's upper management? I mean, realize regardless, like you said, you have the talent, right? So if you have the talent, you're out there playing a game that you have talent in, you should be winning.
again, I think that there's something, we only see 2.5 hours a night during a game. We don't see what actually happens at the practice facility or what happens during pregame or after the game, or what goes on when there's an off day. But it's evidently clear that there's an issue within the whole organizational structure of the New York Rangers. And when you see an organizational failure like that, I mean, the fish stinks from the head. I think you go up straight to Dolan. And I think you even have a personal bone to pick with Dolan, because how are you liking this whole Optimum issue?
Yeah, so Dolan sells or whatever he does and goes from Cablevision to Optimum. Now this guy Matthews, that's his last name, is sitting there and they can't come to terms to agree to have MSG on Optimum or Cablevision, whatever it's called, Altice. It's a little ridiculous to me that you guys just can't come to terms. Like I'm it's not just me. There's hundreds and hundreds and thousands and maybe even hundreds of thousands of fans, okay, that use their network to provide internet and cable, and they can't bring the people local sports.
Dude, and Joey, like I said, I don't think there's an organizational something is going on there. I don't think that these issues are mutually exclusive. I think it's all part of the bigger picture, that there is something structurally wrong with the entire MSG organization, whether it's
Listen to me.
contract
And then
negotiations with Optimum or the way the players perform on the ice. I think everything is interconnected. It's still the same organization.
and not for nothing talking about contracts. I feel like now taking a step back and looking in, everyone was like roasting Igor. Oh, you're crying for all this money. Oh, you're playing hard to get all this. Not. Maybe it's the Rangers organization, like you said. Maybe it's the team. Maybe it's I don't know. But speaking about the Optimum situation, okay, this guy, what is his name? Dennis Matthews. Okay, I'm assuming he has Optimum as his cable provider. He's a
You never
TV.
know.
Okay, this guy. Oh, I can't watch the game. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go and I'm gonna smirk at the game, and he probably knows nothing about hockey too. Like those are comp seats, okay? Optimum's paying for those seats. I'm paying for those seats, and I can't even watch the game.
Yeah, and that's probably why the average fan like you or I can't even make our way into MSG without having to drop at least $200 a ticket to sit on the moon.
Listen,
So, but I don't blame him. I mean, if he couldn't watch it on Optimum, then he had to go in person. He had no other choice.
he's just going to throw salt in the wound at that point. That's all that man is doing.
I think the situation will be rectified. It's made a lot of noise, but they might have done that. It might be a blessing
It's been a week
actually.
already.
It, it's a blessing. Okay, the Rangers are a losing team. Okay, and they're not making they're letting they're not having to let you decide. Okay, they're deciding for you. They're saying I'm not letting you watch it.
At
So
least I don't have to
I
tell
don't
my
have that
wife.
problem. I don't, I don't have that problem. I have Verizon. Um, I have other issues with them, but watching the Rangers is not one.
At least I don't have to tell my wife, "Hey, there's a game on tonight. We can't do anything because there's no games on. There are, but I just can't watch them." Anyway, enough with Optimum. Enough giving them time on our podcast that millions of people will be watching.
That's right.
Um, what is your take on like other teams? I mean, Washington,
I was about to
who's a
say,
who was a first round exit last year,
right.
is blowing it up right now.
Yeah. Listen, let's see if that's going to sustain. If you remember last year, the Flyers were a very good team up until the very end, and they missed the playoffs on the last day of the
Eh,
season. Oh, they were in a playoff spot. They were
they were in a
exceeding
wild card.
expectations. But yeah, the Capitals are good. Ovechkin is he's going to most likely
No, no, no.
he will.
You're telling me you think Ovechkin this season is going to do it? He's going
Yeah,
to
I think so.
tie, or you think he's going to surpass the great
I
Wayne
think he's going to
Gretzky?
hit 900 goals this season.
What is Wayne's record?
894. I think. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. I think just off the top of my head. He
Let's
remember
see.
he missed several weeks due to a broken leg, and he was scoring at a pace that was going to put him at 40 goals plus before his injury.
Did he
So
break his leg?
yeah, I think that's what it was. Um, but he's a beast, and he has no signs of slowing down.
You're
Um,
correct. 894.
yeah, the Capitals are good, and I don't know. It's contagious
All
to
right.
watch. I like the Capitals. I know they're division rivals, but I would root for them if they're not playing the Rangers.
They
I
have
love
Tom
Ovechkin.
Wilson.
I've always loved Ovechkin. I know Tom
Well, yeah,
Wilson, but
he's every Russian kid's dream. You know what I mean?
that's
He's
right.
their role model. You
He's
see that rap I sent you by him, that throwback?
yeah, this is good stuff.
Um, so here's my plan, and I think Wayne Gretzky needs to hear this. If Alex Ovechkin ties him, Wayne comes out of retirement
Hmm.
and he just rips one more.
That'll make it interesting. Although
I mean,
there's something to be said about, and this is not to take anything away from the great one, but when Gretzky was playing in the 80s, the game was so much different than it is now.
it's harder to score now than it was then.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So and that's obviously not taking anything away, but
No,
the game is tremendously different. Players are built differently. It's a faster game.
the goalie's
Pl-
padding.
Goalies padding. Players are stronger, bigger. Even the sticks are made to withstand 100-mile-an-hour shots. So it's a lot harder today than it was back then. But so I think regardless of when it happens, it's pretty incredible that we're able to see it in our lifetime because I don't think, quite frankly, we'll ever see something like that again, with the exception of maybe Connor McDavid. But these players come around once in every generation, and we should be very thankful that at our age and our lifetime we're able to witness it.
I'd still rather see the Rangers win a Stanley Cup.
That's not happening this year.
Side note,
I'll eat my words, but that's not happening. Hold on, I
no,
got
it's not
a,
happening.
notification, and Artemi Panarin tied it at 2.
2-2.
His 17th goal of the season, 2 to
I just
2
saw
with
it
2 minutes left in the second period.
from
Um,
Fox and Zibanejad.
this is from ESPN. I know sometimes their reporting is a little bit skewed, so
What are you
um,
seeing?
well, sometimes I see like they just put like the wrong goal scorer or something like that. But it looks like it was a power play goal from Mika Zibanejad and Adam Fox. So 2 to 2 with a minute and a half left in the second. Looks like a pretty even game. The Rangers are being outshot 15-14, but they are out hitting the Devils by 6 hits, and they're winning 2 out of every 3 faceoffs per the stats on ESPN. So let's see how this game shapes out.
It's got heartbreak written all over it.
I mean, did you see the other night against the Dallas Stars? They were up
I couldn't
three
watch it, you
nothing.
know?
Well, let me update you then. They were up 3-0 early in the first period.
I saw the clips.
Fast forward, they lose 5-4 in overtime. They were up 4-3 with 2.5 minutes left. Dallas never led that game. There's been so many games this season where the Rangers just pissed it away that I know that the team last year would not have done so. The other night against Dallas, there was one earlier in the season on a Sunday matinee versus Seattle when they were up 3-1, and just countless other examples of games where they should have won. They lost to Chicago 2-1. They lost to who else did they lose to? Is the worst team in the NHL? I don't even remember at this point. But
This
uh,
season,
yeah, but they're just they're pissing away points. And with that being said, they're still in striking distance. I know we said we would move on from the Rangers, but um, they're still like in striking distance of a wild card spot. They're only about 4
I mean,
points out.
right now I'm looking, the wild card spot is 42 points. It's Columbus, and the Rangers are at 38. So yeah, like you're
Like,
100% right. If
could
they
you
step
imagine if they didn't go 5-15 over the last 20 games or whatever their record was, and they went, I don't know, let's just say 9, call it 8-12, they'd be sitting in a playoff spot right now. And we'd still be
yeah.
freaking out over, the fact that they're not playing up to, their expectations, but it's just
So call me
it's a crazy
crazy.
sport. You're
I
crazy.
would I am crazy. I would rather be how we are now. Okay, 2 years ago, how when they went like 3 overtimes against Pittsburgh in the playoffs, they were a
Mm,
wild card.
yeah. They
I
were
would
the third
rather
seed, or they were the second. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
I would rather be typical Ranger fashion, crawling out of a hole, stepping in you know what and smelling like a rose, than being the trophy winners. Oh, the President's Trophy. Oh my God, they're gonna win. They're going to the cup, the 30-year mark, blah blah blah. Listen, the Rangers like to toy with our heart. What are they gonna do? They're probably gonna sneak into a wild card spot, make a
They would.
run.
They just would.
Exactly. So I mean, I'm not worried because they've already, in my eyes, like, well, I don't know what this season is. You have a $12 million goalie, and you guys can't win him a game. I mean, he is partial to blame in some games.
Sometimes he's
Not
Swiss cheese.
saying sometimes he's Swiss cheese, but um, listen, you have to score, right? Like the part of the game is to yes, play defense, but scoring goals wins you games.
That's
And
right.
I don't know how many times I have to say this: shoot the puck, hope for a rebound, and maybe one. Look at Trocheck the other night. Someone threw one in, hit his stick, and it flipped right in. Like I don't know when they're gonna realize this. They're a young team. I know all these guys play Chell. And that's how I score a lot of my goals in Chell. All right, you just rip the puck. That's it. Just go on my Xbox account, look at my clips, and take notes, boys.
Last time I played Shell was on your wedding day.
I know we played Madden. We did, right?
Yeah, we played Shell.
Yeah, I beat you, right?
Yeah, you beat me, but I never play.
End of the second. I wanted to ask you, which we actually literally never spoke about. What are your thoughts on Winter Classics next year in Miami?
I gotta go. I have to go.
I was
It's
thinking
on.
that, but like
It's on a Friday.
it's
It's
New
going to
Year's Day,
be.
right?
It's no. It's the day after. It's January 2nd.
Oh, that's different.
And January 2nd falls on a Friday next year. So like even though that's technically a work day, that day is a wash. So
Right.
I don't know. Are we going to Miami for New Year's next year?
So here's the next thing I'll talk about. I mean, are we forgetting when they played in Lake Tahoe in 21 and the ice was melting outside because it was sunny?
So, but the difference is that Lone Depot Park, where the Marlins play, it has a retractable roof. So I think that they're going to be able to. I think it's still technically going to be like an indoor game.
Bruh.
Um,
Are they gonna
but
close the dome for that?
I don't know. But they've had outdoor games in warmer climates before, and they made it work. So
Yeah,
Listen,
they have, but I mean, a place like Colorado, you think, all right, it's still a little chilly. Like
look,
ice wouldn't melt from the sun.
if you want my honest opinion about these outdoor games, I think that the NHL has overdone it the last several years. When the Winter Classic first started, there was so much hype behind it because New Year's Day, it was an outdoor game. But then they
But
started
make
to
it
add,
something like once every 5 years or something.
but the problem is that they started to add stadium series games
Yeah,
and
what's the
other
point of
outdoor
that?
games. And it kind of just like takes away from, how special the Winter Classic actually is. I wish they just kept it to one outdoor game a year, Winter Classic on New Year's Day, and that is it.
Yeah. I mean, or even once every 5 years to make it like a huge hyped up thing, you know?
I was supposed to go to that Stadium Series game, Rangers Islanders last year, that insane comeback that you guys came over for.
You watched it with us instead.
I did. I
There was
had
better
tickets.
there was much better reasons as to why we missed it too.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that, but um,
Yeah. Well,
I had the tickets in my
well,
hand.
listen, tickets schmickets, all right?
I'll
They won, the game's over, okay? Everything worked out the way it was supposed to. If we
sure.
would have went, they would have lost. And we would have got a phone call that we had to leave early.
Yeah, yeah. I guess you're right. I'll never forgive.
Um so I have a question for you.
Shoot.
Hold on. I got to put my timer on. I'm going to give you 30 seconds
Okay.
and you have to tell me the 5 teams in the NHL that don't end with the letter S. Go.
Oh, wait, that don't. There's five. I thought there was four. Okay, you got the Seattle Kraken, the Colorado Avalanche, the Tampa Bay Lightning, uh, Minnesota Wild,
There you go. That's all.
Utah
That's all
Hockey
5.
Club, Utah Hockey Club.
Oh, no, you're right. I just totally
That
messed
was
that up.
five. No, that was the fifth one. Utah, Colorado, Minnesota,
Wild.
Tampa Bay, Wild, and Utah.
I saw something interesting.
Now, how many seconds
That
was that?
it was like 13 when I stopped it, but then
That's
figure
right.
like 15. I saw something interesting that said last season, or no, it was this season. A Hurricanes game was postponed because of a hurricane. And now a Kings Flames game is postponed because of wildfires in Los Angeles, which I hope everyone is safe and okay with that.
Yeah, it's pretty messed up.
Um, but I think it's just a little ironic the way things work. I know it's a coincidence, but it's just crazy. I mean, some of those fires are, but I don't know. But like, what I don't understand is these people were warned to evacuate a lot of them, right?
Dude, I don't even know. I just know that it's a pretty bad situation, and
Yeah, I just
if
hope
it, if
everyone's okay.
if it was the case that a Flames game was postponed due to fire and a Hurricanes game was postponed due to hurricane, stop naming your NHL teams after weather.
Name them the Utah Hockey Club.
And in soccer, this is what teams are called, and it works just fine.
Oh, I'm not gonna touch that subject. Um, I am going to a game. I don't know. I know that you know.
I know. I knew that before you did.
Yeah,
I
I
had to
figured.
sign off on it.
My amazing wife got me tickets for the Rangers versus Senators game. Where that was another prospect. Oh, we're gonna get Brady Kachuk.
I think it might
For
happen
what?
in the future. You
You think
know,
he even
I
wants to play here?
I think everybody wants to play in New York. I saw a headline today that Mikko Rantanen to the Rangers in the offseason.
Dude, Colorado what are they doing? They're in the
I
same
don't,
situation as the Rangers, right?
I'm not following too much what's happening out west. Their goalie Alexander Georgiev, former Ranger goalie, is now a member of the San Jose Sharks. I still like them. I think they have the best defenseman in the NHL, Kel McCarr. They're a great team, fun fan base. So I think they'll be just fine. I saw also Joey. Let me ask you.
They're in
There
first
was
place. Oh no, sorry. They're in the first wild card.
It's still early, but they're going to be fine. They're too good of a team. What do you think of that rumor that came out? There was a trade offer from the Rangers to the Canucks, 1-for-1. It originally was reported that was 1-for-1, Mika Zibanejad for JT Miller. Um, but the Canucks shot that down. And then later it came out that the Canucks wanted the Rangers to include Braden Schneider in the deal, and the Rangers said no. But either way, there was active talks about JT Miller coming to New York, coming back to New York. What do you think about that?
I think that the Rangers made the right choice by not moving Schneider.
Right, I agree.
Okay. I think that, and people are going to probably hate me for this, I think it's a little premature to just throw Mika out there and completely listen. I know a season is a lot, but let's not forget how well offensively he has been and defensively the last past seasons. Am I wrong here?
So I, he sucks this season. We'll just flat
Yeah,
out say it. Last season he wasn't great either. I know he put up 72 points in 82 games, but he was MIA during the playoffs, and even his
but he
70.
always is, and that's a problem. He's the Aaron Judge of the New York Rangers. I love Aaron Judge, but like,
Look,
what's up?
I was able to write off his season last year. Okay, he had an off season. He had a shot.
846 is such a great time, isn't it?
Yeah, yes, it's a special time.
I love
Um,
846.
yeah, 846 is a good time. Um,
Sorry.
so sorry, my alarm went off. I forgot that it was on. Um,
Listen, I think why are you gonna also another thing? If you want to go for a guy like I know this will never happen, Connor McDavid. Okay, he's never played on the team anymore. You're going for a guy, JT Miller, who I know he's in a bit of a situation himself.
you're right. He
He's
had a
not getting
personal
along in the
situation.
locker room.
Yep.
Elias Pettersson, totally get that. But he's older. Mika's younger. Mika realistically has more longevity.
Is Mika younger than JT Miller? I don't remember their age.
Yeah, I think so.
But
Uh,
JT Miller is a stud, and he was a stud when he was on the Rangers. He was young, and then he went over to Tampa in that deal. Um, but
listen, he, oh, you're right. He's 31. I think Mika's maybe 30.
he's our age. He could be friends with us.
Could have went to our high school. Yeah, he's 31 also. But I
I just
think
got that.
I think I think the thing is okay. So maybe take away their age, but in my opinion, while JT Miller was a stud, he's went through the organization already. The type of guy you bring back to the organization to shake things up is Sean Avery. Like that's the type
Okay,
of guy.
so there was talk that he would be considered for the GM position if they were to fire Chris Drury. I love it. You know me, I'm all about stirring the pot.
Put in Torts as the head coach, and then we'll just have a complete
I
like
I love Sean Avery. I love how I used to I remember watching him. Um, I love the way he plays. I love his attitude. I love
do
the
you
fact that
listen to him on the Full Send Hockey podcast, or have you seen the
he's
clips?
so good. He's
He's
so
so
funny.
unhinged. He has no filter. It's great.
Yeah,
Like
and he's
I think
passionate.
he is what yeah, and I think he loves the Rangers, but I think that the way he acts, I think that's who Biz aspires to be. Like Avery just comes natural. Biz, you could see tries. Avery is literally just like, I'm gonna say what comes to my mind, and I don't care. I
I
literally don't care.
I love Sean Avery. I loved him as a player, and it's so good to see that he's like such a huge fan of the Rangers. You know, it's almost as if like he never even played for them. He's just a huge fan.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, it's also, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a professional athlete, but I feel like, he didn't retire with the Rangers, correct?
I think he did actually. He had two different stints with the Rangers. Um,
Okay.
so and I know he played for. I could be wrong. I think it might have been LA and Dallas. I think it was LA to the Rangers, Rangers to Dallas, Dallas back to the Rangers. I think I could be totally wrong. Um, but I know for a fact he was a Ranger twice, two
Speaking of the
different
Rangers
stints.
and LA, is Brendan Lemieux still in the league or no?
I think he signed overseas. I think him and Tony DeAngelo, who's now in the KHL.
Those are boys, two boys.
Drama. There's always drama in within the Rangers. This is not new. I just
Yeah,
think it's finally caught up with them.
it's unfortunate too because like you have guys like Kako, right?
Mm,
Maybe he did need to go to Seattle. I mean, he's doing
yeah.
well over there, but you have young talent like Lafreniere and Fox, and it's like, especially a guy like Fox. Lafreniere is still a little younger, but like Fox is at the age where like he signed a pretty long contract. He's gonna stay with the team. Don't let this guy's career go to waste. You
The
know,
Rangers have a big problem in developing young talent. Again, Capo Caco was not a problem. He was just a symptom of the problem. You look back at Rangers draft picks going back many years, Elias Anderson, Vitaly Kravtsov, uh, Capo Caco, several others. The Rangers,
Vitali was another one. He would have
that's my,
been he would have been
yeah,
Panarin 2.0, in my
he,
opinion.
that's what the expectations were. Remember Elias Anderson?
Yeah.
Um,
He's on the Kings, right?
I don't even know where he is. He did go to the Kings. I'm not even sure if he's still with the
Remember
organization
when
or
he
not.
tripped opening night?
I was, yes. I think you were there too. We were
Yeah.
there. We're sitting opposite from each other, same
Yeah.
section, just opposite
I should have
ends.
known then.
Um, the Rangers have a huge problem. A, they don't draft well. They don't. They get lucky sometimes. They got lucky with Alexi
Laugh.
Lafreniere. They had no other
Yeah.
choice. Um, but they don't draft well and they don't develop their players well. And I think they're able to get away with not developing their players well because New York is such a huge market that whenever there's a big name that's, around the trade deadline or, pending free agency, somehow the New York Rangers are always tied to that big name, either through a trade or in the offseason during free agency. And
Yeah.
players have genuine interest in coming to New York. It's a huge market. Everybody wants to play in Manhattan at MSG, the world's most famous arena. And I think the Rangers know this. And there's a little bit of like a moral hazard when it comes to drafting and developing because they can always be bailed out by that big free agent signing or that
Mhm.
big, midseason trade. Um, what do you think about that? And it's frustrating because you think about players like Vitali and Capo Caco and Lias Anderson, and I think it'd be pretty safe to say if they were drafted by another team, I think that they could have had totally different careers. I just don't think I think the Rangers have a serious development problem. And look at Brennan Othman down in Hartford.
Wasting
Um,
talent right now.
high expectations. He got called up for a couple of games, but like, what's happening? Is he going to get his shot? Are they going to,
No disrespect. Again, I'm not professional, but like Sam Carrick, like maybe sit him out for a few games. Like I think Johnny Brzezinski has earned his spot. Leave the
the
guy
thing?
alone.
The thing is, you don't bring up young talent like this to give him 3 minutes a night on the fourth
But
line.
what do we have to lose?
I mean,
At
you're
this
gonna
point, don't give him 4 minutes on the fourth line. Give him a
middle six
third
forward
line.
minutes. Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. Like don't sit there and be like, oh, like Matt Rempe. Like don't like him. Rempe, love Rempe. We know what he's capable of. But you have this young talent where we're in a season where I'm not saying to give up, but nothing's gonna hurt by trying something new
and
at
by
this
the
point.
way, on the topic of Rangers prospects, I can't believe we've been over 30 minutes here and haven't given a shout out to the boys from Team USA.
Yes. Shout out to the world
Congratulations
juniors
on
team.
their back-to-back um, championships.
They're gonna
Uh,
go for the trifecta,
yeah, listen, not the first time the U.S. went
three-peat.
back-to-back. They were back-to-back World War champs, and now they're back-to-back World Junior champs. So, I mean, back-to-back is something we're familiar with here in the U.S. But one of the players that one of the players that drove them to that gold medal was
Chris Kreider.
Gabe Perreault. Gabe
Okay.
Perreault,
Where are you
the
going with
Rangers,
this?
the Rangers draft pick. He is a top prospect, and he should be a stud in the NHL. But on the topic of the Rangers not developing their players well, you got to worry about him as well. what are they going to do? They have a absolute stud who was a steal last year's draft, and I just hope that the
What round was
expectations.
he?
He was a first round draft. I think he was a first round draft pick. I think he got selected a little later in the first round, but he was a steal. There was expectations that he would be chosen a bit sooner, but the Rangers were lucky enough to snag him. I just hope that they develop him, and because he's going to be, he has a potential being a 40 goal plus scorer every year. But
So even though we do this every episode, we're like, yeah, we're not gonna talk about the Rangers. We talk about the Rangers for 35 minutes. It's
listen,
fine.
look at your background. You got the Hank banner. Look at my shirt. Look at my hat. The hat that you generously gave to me. I mean, we're fans at the end of the day, but
Listen, it's like have you ever seen that meme when it's like when you're vegan and it's like the kid, it's like when you haven't told someone in 5 minutes that you're not vegan, like that's
yeah,
us talking about the Rangers. Like I see
you should.
someone with a Rangers hat on, I'm like, don't ask him about like I fight the urge to be like,
I feel that, dude, because I see it in the city. People wearing Rangers jackets and hats or backpacks. It's like
I
you just
know.
want to you want to go up there and say hi, but yeah, like
Just
let's not
say I'm sorry. Give your
let's not be
condolences,
weird.
you know.
Yeah, let's not be weird here. Just go about your day. Nobody
But
wants to be
so since we're
bothered.
talking about the Rangers again, let me ask you, do you move anyone before the deadline?
Who? I mean, who could be like a possible like?
No, I don't think we move anyone. What are we gonna do? Like completely clear house? Like you can't. But
To be honest, dude, I think that you just have to just let the season ride out, and the way it finishes the way it does. If they somehow manage to climb out of this hell that they got themselves into, that would be great. If not,
you know that they're gonna, right?
it's you don't want to lose hope, but the numbers don't lie, and when they're in striking distance of a playoff, listen, you just have to get into the playoffs. Who cares whether you win the President's Trophy or you get the last wild card seed in the last day of the season? You just got to get in.
I
Knowing the
always
Rangers, they
tell
would.
my wife this. Come the postseason, it's a new season.
That's right.
That's it. It's a fresh, clean slate. The only
It's
thing that rolls over into that new season is the drama from the regular season
That's right.
between two teams, whatever. Nothing else. 0 points. Look what happened to the Rangers. They had the most points in the NHL last year, correct?
In their own history as well. Yeah.
Okay. And what they do? They got bounced out.
Yep.
So it really means nothing. I mean, yes, obviously what you do in the regular season means something because it gets you to the postseason. But
But that's it. Once you're there, it's a new season.
exactly. You could have
Everyone's 0
a
0.
wild card win. You know what I mean? I mean,
Look what happened to the Tampa Bay Lightning the year before they won the cup. They were what, like 120 something points, and they got swept in the first round by the 8 seed Columbus Blue Jackets. It happens.
wasn't Elvis wasn't playing then, was he?
I don't know. See, I got some ESPN notifications. Did the period start already? It's
I don't have anything yet.
yeah. ESPN is saying end of the third, 2-2. Like I
Gotta
told
love
you,
ESPN.
I told you a few minutes ago that they're not the best with regard to their data. But
So what do you think about JT Miller? Do you think that's a fair trade?
I think I don't know if I would go as far as say it's a fair trade, but I think it's fair to have the conversation whether Mika Zibanejad has a future in New York.
You know, another thing that I don't really understand, not that I don't understand it because I do, but what is the point of giving a player a no trade clause and then just waiving him?
So the no movement clause is something that's negotiated by the player because they
But
want
it
the
means
sense of security.
nothing.
No, it means that the player cannot be traded without the consent of the player himself.
Yeah, but if Trouba would have said no, I'm not leaving, what would happen?
They would have placed him on waivers,
Okay,
and that would have made him available to get picked up by any team.
and
But not via trade. So effectively, the Rangers would have dumped him for nothing.
so
With
I see. I see.
you're
So they would technically be the ones losing out because they would still
correct.
obtain his salary, right? A part of
No,
his salary.
if the team that picks him up would absorb his salary. This is what happened with Barclay Goodrow in the
San
summertime.
Jose. Yeah.
They put him on waivers, but there was a handshake in the background that San Jose would pick him up, and they picked him up along with his 3.1 or $3.2 million a year cap hit. So what they told Jacob Trouba, and this was confirmed by Trouba himself, was that if you who and he had a full no movement clause, if you don't waive your full no movement clause and accept this trade to Anaheim, we are going to place you on waivers, and then you're going to get picked up by whoever wants you. And he made his personal situation very known in the NHL
Right.
with his wife being a doctor. And I don't think that he would have been too happy had he gotten claimed by a team, let's say like the Calgary Flames. I mean,
Arizona. Oh, Arizona's no longer a team, but
or like yeah, like you get the
yeah,
point, right? They basically said either you go to California, you go to LA, you go to Anaheim, or you go to one of the other 31 teams, and basically they're going to make that choice for you. So they kind of
if you're gonna
handcuffed him.
go, you've obviously rather have the choice in where you're going. So I get
Exactly.
that.
Exactly. And in doing so, they forced his hand, and he signed. He waived his no movement clause, and they were able to basically dump his entire salary and ship it over to Anaheim. And I think that's actually a very good move for Anaheim. Um, they're a very talented team. They're young. They have a lot of upside potential. And say what you will about Jacob Trouba, I know Ranger fans have pleasant things to say about him.
Love him.
He still is he's a veteran. He's a good presence in the locker room. I think that
I
it was
think he
valuable.
brings more to the locker room than people realize.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he wasn't given the C for no reason. There was a reason for it, whether
Right.
we saw it or not. So I think he'll be a good mentor for the young guys over in Anaheim, and good luck to him. Don't let the door
Yeah.
hit you
I
on the
mean,
way out.
it was a love hate. It was a bittersweet moment, you know? But let me ask you this. So if the Rangers don't make it, who do you want to see win the cup? Can you answer that question or
I don't think I would really have any view. I don't care. I guess I could tell you who I wouldn't want to see win the cup. Probably New Jersey. Uh,
really?
I wouldn't want to see them win. Um, I don't know. It's difficult. It's difficult for me because like I lose interest once the Rangers are out.
I know it's not the same. Like you're watching the games and it's like, all right, cool. Like, like I'm not gonna stay up, especially if
Well,
it's like West Coast
although I
hockey.
will say all I want is for the cup to stay in the United States. We've been on a very good streak here for the last 31 years. The last Canadian team to win the cup was the 93 Canadians. So in our lifetime, we've never seen a Canadian team win the cup. Got very close last year with Game 7 and Edmonton almost pulling off that amazing comeback. So
Listen,
I don't really care who would win it. I just wanted to stay on this side of the border.
there's also speculation that Canada becomes the 51st state.
Well, then it
So
doesn't matter. Yeah, then it doesn't matter at
then
all.
then it's a win-win. I mean, the cup is always going to be in the United States, but
Could you imagine the Olympics and what type of roster you would have with
oh, dude, you're talking about hockey.
yeah,
Oh man,
because then it would just be
It-
Team North America. It wouldn't even
dude. Honestly, I think that. Oh, speaking of
you'd
which,
have Austin Matthews playing with Connor McDavid. That's how good it would be.
speaking of which, what is the four nations face off? You gonna watch that?
Probably not. They did something like this like a few years ago.
I'll probably
I
watch it because I can't watch the Rangers. So,
I just like I worry, that players will get hurt. You
so that
know,
was another thing. Austin Matthews is on the IR, and he did I just say IR?
did
Did
is he on the IR?
um
I know he's hurt.
he, is he back though?
I have no idea.
Anyway, there was speculation because he was injured. and then he went out, and they were saying, like, if he comes back in time, is he gonna play? And it's like, to me personally, if I'm a player, of course, playing for my country is great and all, and of course, I support my country, I love my country, but at the end of the day, my country is not supporting me and my family and paying me to play a game.
Right.
It's an organization, you know what I mean? I just think that, like, I think that your team, where you're collecting a paycheck from, should come as a priority over than, playing in a little tournament.
And on that subject, I also think that the All-Star game is totally useless. I never watch it.
Stupid.
I
Every
never
sport
watch
though.
it.
Every sport.
Yeah,
Basketball,
it's
it's like 250 to like 245. Like,
although I love the skills competition. That's a lot
but
of
just
fun to
have
watch.
that. Just have a whole weekend
Yeah,
of that.
I agree. I totally agree. And you know who agrees too is John Tortorella. He has a
Does he?
few. Yeah, he says he can't stand. He doesn't even watch it. I don't watch it either. Nobody watches it
It's
unless
gonna
you're
be at
actually
UBS this year, right?
Is it this year or next year? But the next time there's an All-Star, because I think they have that Four Nation face-off this year, and then the year after when the All-Star game comes back,
No,
it's
I
going to
think
be
it's
at
this year. Are you
I don't think
sure?
s I'm not sure, but I know the next one is at UBS, that you're right about.
I'm gonna
Would you go? Would you go if you got free tickets?
yeah, I'd
Yeah,
go.
I'd probably go. I wouldn't pay for it though.
I'd stand outside like a fanboy with the buses and stuff
Ugh,
and be like, "Will you sign my shirt?"
it's such an inconvenient arena, with the,
Oh,
$70 parking and then having to
it's
walk
not
another
even
2
that.
miles. It's terrible.
It's not even that. It's just, yeah, like Hempstead Turnpike, and then listen, I mean, it's a nice building, and I haven't seen, but like I've driven past a bunch of times. They're doing like a whole like mall, which is it's a
Yeah,
cool
yeah,
concept. Like I think that their idea, I'm pretty sure their idea is to like divert people from all leaving at once. So like, oh hey, like go shopping, go grab food, like
right.
so that
Come
it kind of
earlier,
breaks
leave
up
later. Yeah,
traffic. Exactly. Yeah. Like come earlier, it gives you something to do so not everyone's rushing in, which is a good concept.
right.
I just don't know if everyone like me and you, I know we're probably not gonna have that mindset. We're gonna be like, all right, like game's over, let's go home. Especially
I've
if it's a weeknight.
I've never seen a hockey game at UBS. I've been there several times for other events. I've never seen a hockey game, only concerts.
Listen, according to some of my friends that are Islander fans, I'm just a stuck up MSG snob, but it's a nicer version of the Coliseum. It's very small. In my opinion, again, MSG is the world's most famous arena, but it's small. It's like a Prudential Center,
Right.
maybe even smaller. I don't know.
The game you're going to, when is it? The one versus the Senators.
21st.
So it's this month.
Yeah,
Nice. And that's going to be your first Ranger game in a while. You haven't been, you didn't go
I
last
know.
year, did you?
No, we went. We went to the preseason
Didn't, oh, we went this year to the preseason
and last year.
and last year too, right?
Last year, we went with your father-in-law.
That's right. I think it was 2 years ago. Was it? I lose
It
track of
was two
everything.
preseasons ago. It was not. It was not this one. It was the last
Right.
one.
I lose track of everything. I hope you have a good time. I've been to, not including the preseason game we went to, I only went to 2 regular season games this year. Early in the season, the second home game against Detroit where they won, and then the one on November 12th that we were supposed to go to.
We were.
Yeah. You were nice enough to get me tickets to that game, but just next time, make sure you get me tickets to a game they win, please. Just I don't want to waste my
Listen,
time again.
I'll try to talk to the boys ahead of time, and I'll get the script from Vegas. This way,
It's
I
all
know.
it's all scripted.
Yeah, it's all scripted. Listen, to close this out, we can only hope. We can only go up from here, right? What's the score? Is it still tied?
I didn't get any notifications, so I would assume it is, but I got to go back and finish watching it on my not optimum network.
Yeah,
So
FaceTime me. After this, we'll hang up, FaceTime me, and then I'll watch it through FaceTime with you.
12 minutes left in the third period. Shots are now. Oh, the Rangers look like they're now out shooting New Jersey 25-17. So yeah, you're right. This has a 4-2 loss written all over it.
Regulation, of course, 4 to
Yeah.
2, but
This,
not we're not pushing OT tonight.
and I know we're wrapping up, but real quickly, there's a good chance that by the time we do our next podcast that our boy Jonathan Quick gets his 400th career win because he's at 399. He
That
was
would be
2 minutes.
most American wins as for American
Yeah,
goalie, right? Yeah.
he was 2 minutes away from winning last game against Dallas.
Well,
But
Igor is
they
back though, so I don't know if we're gonna see it by
Igor
next
is
week.
back, but I'm sure he might get a game in soon. So we'll see. But he's sitting at 399, and that's it's going to be a huge accomplishment once it happens. I hope it happens soon.
Yeah. And one last thing I wanted to touch on: people are going in on Keandre Miller. Everyone needs to like realize at the end of the day, these guys are human. Like people make mistakes. Seeing all this stuff, like even Mika said it. Mika said like seeing all this stuff mentally affects him. Like you guys
Wow.
love to watch them
I
at the
make
end of the
millions of
day.
dollars, but somebody says something mean about me on Twitter, and now I can't
All
shoot the puck
right.
on it anymore.
It's not saying that. What I'm saying is before you write stuff online about these guys, like really think about it. Like, what are you gaining from that? Like, you are obviously a fan. The person's relevant enough for you to write about. It goes back to what my grandmother used to say. If you have nothing nice to say, just don't say it at all. Talk to your buddies amongst it. He's admitting that this is affecting him. So please, everyone, just stop. Please just stop.
See,
Please.
I make fun of him, but I keep that off social media.
Exactly. You text me about it. So it's safe with me. It doesn't affect him. But listen, I hope the Rangers pick up stop dragging their feet, start peppering the puck and start winning games, please. Because like you said, what are we 5 points out?
Something like that. 4 points, striking
4
distance. Just
points. Yeah,
listen, a small little win streak here, and they're back in playoff position, and you can start planning the parade again.
that's it. So, anything else you want to touch on before we wrap this up?
I think we covered a lot here. Let us know what you guys think. Give us your predictions for the second half of the season, and let us know what the Rangers need to do to turn it around.
Let us know what the problem is, please. Just somebody, just let us know what the problem is. What happened to the New York Rangers in the 2024-2025 season? I did think I'm like, oh, it's a new year. They won the game. They won the game after the new year. I'm like, oh, they're undefeated this year. They're gonna win.
That's right. Here we go.
No,
Nothing.
no. Psych. All right, guys. We are gonna try to get to you guys every Friday or Saturday about. Let us know in the comments what you think, what you want to see, what you want to hear, and otherwise it's just gonna be me and Brandon just chopping it up about the NHL, predominantly the Rangers,
That's right.
and we're just having fun. We look forward to bringing some more episodes, and let's see what the rest of the season has to offer.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you for your support.
Have a good night, guys.